Alright guys, what's going on? We've got the 10th War of Season 22 here, and today 4Loki is going to be facing S3NSU. These guys are, they're a good alliance. I feel like they've been, it says they were in Platinum 1 last season, but I swear I remember them being in Masters like pretty regularly, so I'm not quite sure why that is. They are just a little bit lower rated than we are. And I'm not sure why I didn't speed this part up a little bit, but yeah, it says Platinum 1 last season. Their prestige is a little bit lower, so probably fewer rank 3 6-stars, but they do have some really smart defensive placements. So we're going to go for a little bit of a different strategy this time. So basically there's going to be a few of us that are going to be clearing a little bit earlier than other people, and I'm going to be one of them. So, I see Path 5 in Section 1. I see that Nick Fury on what can normally be a pretty problematic node, especially with Stubborn, the heavy hitter node, and the power alternator. And I'm going to be taking that fight. Looking around in Section 2, I see a lot of kind of the same. I do see that Korg on Path 7 in Section 2, so I have a feeling I'm going to be taking that fight. Elsa on Enhanced Special 1 Mini, and then there's a Dragon Man boss. So we're going to go ahead and select our team here, and it's going to be Omega Red, Sabretooth, and Magneto. So we're going to be starting off on Path 1, or Path 5 here in Section 1, and I'm going to be taking this Mordo first. This is Ebb and Flow Knockdown and Power Drain. So, ideally, I don't want to let him get to a special 3, but if he does, it doesn't hit very hard. So, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start with an intercept and just to get an in. And I'm going to try to kind of like time my combos with his power gain, and you can see I did mess it up there. I'm not going to go in and try to heavy him though, there's no real reason to. And here I'm just going to go ahead and bait a special 2, go back in. And bait out a heavy attack, cancel out the power drain. This person is running Mystic Dispersion, which is fine. Not super concerned about that. Bait a heavy attack again, time it with the power drain. Throw my special 2, which will give me a Fury, and take away his protection. So, through the special 2 here, that's awesome. And yeah, it's been about a little bit less than a minute. He's just going to go down. So, very easy fight. Mordo is more problematic if you're going to put him on Path 5 in Section 1. He's more problematic on this node with the heavy hitter because it's harder to get your ends. But this is going to be a rank 5 5-star Mole Man. Pretty much anytime I see a Mole Man, a Hitmonkey, or a Korg, I know that there's a good chance I'm going to be taking that fight. So we're going to go ahead and start out here, build up some spores, so we can safely parry and heavy him. And now we have our Fury, so we're just going to slow our combos down. Here I'm just barely going to mistime my locking in of the degen, but it's not a huge deal. You can see here now he's got a special 2. Parry the first hit of it, back up, go in and punish. And we've still got our 11 spores, going to knock him down again. And yeah, that's a super easy fight for Omega Red. And then this next fight here, this Nick Fury, this is a tricky node. This is better placement for Nick Fury than the node that I just took Mole Man on. Yeah, it's just with the power alternator and stuff, you can't use Magneto for this fight. So I'm going to use Omega Red, and there's a strategy that we found from Tomato, the leader of Kenobi. And basically what you can do on this node with Nick Fury is if he is charging a heavy, instead of interrupting it, if you let him finish his heavy attack, you can actually heavy counter him with Omega Red. So here, I'm just trying to give him as little power as possible. I'm not going to do that strategy quite yet. He's still in his first life. So I'm going to push him into his second life here. I probably could have timed that a little bit better, and now I'm just going to go ahead and block hit him to back him up. Dodge the special 2, and now I'm going to try to bait out a heavy attack. And this is normally where people would have issues with this node, But if you wait for the final hit of his heavy, you can see that you can actually punish it. So if you have a 2-part heavy attack. So here, I need to bait out the special 2. He's not really wanting to throw it. Getting kind of cornered, but I'm not super worried. Alright, bait out another heavy attack, and you can see that it is pretty reliable. So got a good intercept at the end there, and the fight's over. So that fight went really, really well. I did use an invulnerability boost just because of the power alternator. I don't necessarily think that I would again, though. And then here, we're just sharing energy. We're all kind of piling onto the right side of the map here. And I'm going to take this Korg on path 7 in section 2. This is pretty okay placement. It's powerful from afar and spite. So basically you want to stand close to him, but that's kind of the goal with Omega Red anyway. Like if you're fighting a Korg, you're trying to stand close to him. So, and you're also trying not to trigger Dex. So I don't fully understand why he's on this node, but I'll take it. Alright, so go back in. Lock in the degen. And you can see I'm trying to get a lot better at using Omega Red as far as like shortening my combos and just hitting like as few times as possible. And it's working out pretty well. So here I'm going to finish with my special 2. That will end the fight. Korg doesn't seem susceptible to that bug where they block in the middle of your special 2 animation. Alright, and then Carl is actually going to take that Juggernaut, and we are all going to move up, and I'm going to take 3 mini bosses here. And I wasn't worried about this fight at all. I'm going to take this MCoC on Rage. I redid my masteries for this fight to make sure that I wouldn't trigger Rage. And part of what I did is I only put 1 point in double edge, and that greatly reduces the amount of time that you spend bleeding. So I'm going to make a pretty huge mistake in this fight. This fight just takes a long time, and it's going to prove to be a lethal mistake here. So you can see we've got 10 spores. Just going to try to hit him as little as possible. Block the first special one. Take a combo. Which in retrospect comes back to bite me later. So here, alright, gonna evade the special 1. He's gonna throw a heavy attack, of course. Alright, so the goal here is to just like lock in my degen and not use special attacks, and it's really hard to keep him at 10 spores. Which is kind of like the whole idea of using Omega for this fight. Alright, so here, another heavy attack, of course. Here I was having a hard time parrying him, so I actually got a re-parry off, which is pretty good. I've been practicing that. Alright, so now I'm just going to hit him as few times as possible. Parry, lock in the spores. That's kind of all I'm trying to do right now. Parry the beam of the special 1 so that the spore damage doesn't stop when he goes indestructible. Hit him once, parry, hit him once, twice, and then here I'm standing back and I just get absolutely destroyed with his heavy attack. So I'm gonna sit here and pretty much just watch myself die. There I have willpower on, and because I had the incinerates, he was going to reverse my willpower healing, so I throw the special 3 in like a desperate attempt to make something happen, and I die to a fight that I pretty much had won. Like, that was such an easy fight, and I just completely screwed it up. So that's really unfortunate. I'm gonna go ahead. That was, I think, like, I had only used 1 item before this fight, so yeah, I was actually having a really good war prior to that happening. The reach on his heavy attack is just so far, so I am obviously upset about that death, but I'm not like super distraught over it like I was against Nick Fury. So here, gonna go ahead and parry heavy, and the fight's over. So very easy. Definitely should have won that fight. It was a good matchup. It was just user error on my part. And then here, this is going to be Elsa Bloodstone on Enhanced Special 1 and Power Focus 1. This is okay placement. Her Special 1 can be pretty devastating, and I'm not sure which part of it is actually unblockable. So here I'm just going to try to lock in some spores early, and I don't really want her throwing the Special 1. If I can keep her from throwing it, that would be ideal, just because it can be so dangerous. So gonna bait out a heavy attack that'll help me build up spores as well. I don't really care about block damage. This is my last fight with Omega Red. And yeah, this is pretty much gonna finish her. So very easy fight, about 30 seconds. Wasn't concerned about that fight either. And then for my final fight here, I'm gonna be taking this this OG Vision. This is interesting placement for him. It's good placement. You need a specific counter for it, but I'm just going to use Magneto here. So basically what's going to happen is I'm not using an invulnerability boost. I'm just going to tank his first special 3. So maybe I shouldn't have thrown that heavy attack first because it gave me a tiny bit of power for him to burn. And then I'm going to be in my corner. Not a big deal at all. I was anticipating that heavy attack. I knew it was coming. And now I'm just going to bait out special 1s. And you can see I think I could tank quite a few special 3s if I needed to. On this node, he is going to be hitting harder the more bars of power he fills. But again, I'm not super concerned about it. There, his synthesis failed to trigger. So I'm going to start doubling up my prowess here. I'm going to do it one more time. And this is just going to be complete overkill. You can see he's at 2/3 health right now, and the first crunch of the special 3 is pretty much going to kill him. So that is the end of my war. I was very proud of this war with the exception of that one moment of that one fight that I just completely botched. But again, I'm not going to beat myself up over it too bad this time. Mistakes do happen, and I know that everyone makes mistakes sometimes, so alright, so that's actually going to be the end of the war. Legacy is going to take down the war boss, and I will let you guys know the outcome of the war tomorrow, because right now I'm not sure. I'm doing this at night, so alright, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Alright, and we did end up winning this war. For Loki had 5 deaths, and I think that we cleared earlier than them, so it was pretty clear we had won. But they did a great job as well, so either way, 2 more wars to go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.